Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining Archangel Alts. We're here with a live Market Watch instant insights for you today. Gonna get this set up, make sure that we're all ready to go. And actually need to clear these out for now. So I'll go ahead and tell you this, IOST kind of sitting around the 330 range. We're waiting on our brand new positions at 360. We were literally there. Oh, we were literally there. Hopefully it will be able to bounce back up there and take care of that. So you can imagine what's been happening on that front. So I'm going to start with Bitcoin and what it is currently doing. It's actually the reason that I've rushed over here. So you can see Ravencoin, we just came from there, was actually going down with Bitcoin's rise up to 52. And now we are seeing the mirroring of that. And this has been a $20 million sell-off. That's right. It was in the 179 range right here. It had started to go to 180 and then meow. So came right back up to 5,000, which is a good thing. It means that the intention is not just to sell off. So, you know, that's always good because there's always that concern now, kind of a more complex layer of things as more and more people have been choosing to go in the direction of shorting Bitcoin. It's very interesting to try to find equilibrium in the marketplace and in your own personal order books. So Raven is fairly up again. It was doing, well over here until that, spike was too fast with Bitcoin. So here's the lesson, folks. Not wrong about it. Never going to be wrong about it. Unless we get into a place where it's like $1 billion of 24-hour volume in Bitcoin every day. This is going to be the way that it works. Okay. When Bitcoin goes up too quickly, the volume is so heavy. It is not just the fact that more people are buying Bitcoin or selling Bitcoin than they are doing other stuff. These things are transactionally, electronically, mathematically linked to everything that trades against them. It's not like any other stock or bond or any, Forex or anything else that you would ever trade. Now, Forex maybe a little bit, but not so, instantaneously intermingled. So you got to understand that blockchain to blockchain, value to value, going through the exchange, there's an immediate response, and you can't get out of it by trading against USDS, USDC, TUSD, USDT, or PAX. PAX, you're the only one that's got the different name, just saying. The different sounding name. But, you see all this green for right now. This is actually a lot more red than you would normally see in those that trade against those. But, the thing is that any single coin right now in the entire cryptocurrency world, even if you're trying to trade it against USDT or C or a stable coin, the dollar pegged coin is stable, yes, but your coin, your Litecoin, gee, what just happened with Bitcoin? Exactly, you can't even tell the difference between Litecoin and Bitcoin's pattern. So really important to understand the way that this stuff works. So this is Litecoin against USDT. Here's Bitcoin against USDT. It's invisible. It's completely invisible. Okay. All right. Burn this image into your brain. Okay. What's the difference? I don't see one. In fact, you know what? Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to take a print screen. You guys can join me. Welcome to the world of screens. Sounds like a Tim Conway character. We'll do it like that. Crop. And now I'm going to find the same thing for Bitcoin. Don't worry, this will benefit you too. But I think it'll be fun to kind of share this with los otros. Okay. I'm going to take this one and try to do the same range. I kind of slipped on the last one a little bit. So will it? Oh, come on. And yeah, you know what? I need to see. I can't just slide it down there? Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Isn't that fun? Okay. Ah, I know how to do this. Okay. No, seriously, I mean, this is important. This is important things to do, don't you think? Okay. That is the Bitcoin one. That is the Litecoin one. Now I should be able to just show them like this. Let's see, is that where it lines up? Right there, right? And now I should be able to highlight this whole thing. And crop. There we go. So I'm actually going to go to full screen and go to the tweeter. See, and people wonder why I don't trade BTC to LTC and other top tier alts. They are literally identical. Identical. Okay. You can learn to spell too. Don't you love when people use the TO for one thing and then TOO for the other thing, and then they yeah, okay. So it looks like got it right. Looks good. And I'm going to do the exact same thing in our group, and this is to provoke you to jealousy so that you will come and join our community. It's live to come get special participation in things like this. We're now at 5014, $202 million, 24-hour volume. So here we are in our wonderful group. And people wonder why we don't trade BTC against the top tier alts like LTC. Literally 100% lateral. I don't think you can do a double. Let's see. When in doubt, put a dash. Come on now. Come on now. You get a deep dive, introspective look into the Archangel alts. Yes, I do have a glitch mob ready whenever the music time comes. Okay, there we go. Fantastic. And since we're here, since I'm doing this, since we're over here, might as well go ahead and show you too. Make sure and click the link if you haven't joined us yet. Register for the webinar. It's free to do so. The next one's coming up soon. And you just name, email, boom, and we'll let you know when the next one's coming up. All right, guys. Very, very cool. So back to the actual market. And boom. So that's the whole point, is that there really is no variation. And Bitcoin moves, Litecoin moves. Can Litecoin someday decouple itself from Bitcoin? If it was 100% different, and it still had relatively the same volume, then it could change by about 15-20%. So you would not notice a huge change, but it still would not be anything close to what you're looking at trading against with the alts. So I'm going to now show you the more relevant version of things. ADA is going to probably come back up into the 1800s. We were watching it, trying to get it into the 2000s, but none of these things are long enough trends because of the intentional pumping of Bitcoin instead of the natural movement. So unlike others, I'm not looking for there to be an end to volatility. I think the volatility is fine. I think it's the natural flow of where things are right now. But I am interested in seeing some stability by there being less, ginormous whale pumping. I just think that the the selfish gains are apparent. So here, basic attention token benefited from this massive down. It had just the right amount of volume to go spiking up while Bitcoin went diving down. BCD got a little bit of a benefit from it, but it had already been dropped down so much from when Bitcoin went up over here that unfortunately it's not leveled out yet. So BCPT has been working on its climb, but I've noticed that this last round when Bitcoin went from $600 million down to $169 million, 24-hour volume measured in Tether on the Binance Exchange, I noticed that the volume has massively thinned out. So BNB is at pretty much the top of the list right now, and it's actually mirroring what Bitcoin is doing. Mirroring the opposite of what Bitcoin is doing. This was the Bitcoin's huge spike up, and this is Bitcoin's huge sell-off. So very interesting stuff. CELR has not been recovering super fantastically, but you can see that it's kind of in an opposite mode as well. Most things I think are going to be, this is like as low as volume goes, but you can still kind of see the pattern there amidst the Morse code. So, yep. Dash, don't really care. I know it's important in Venezuela and will be for us some other things, but I don't trade it. I think that it's way too expensive for its tradability, so as far as that goes, I don't find it useful. Doc, what's up, Doc? Not much. Not doing so hot right now. Yeah, just overall, the volume is very low right now. Felt like it was just necessary since we're going to have another kind of useless artificial rise in Bitcoin volume. The good news is that it's holding at a new value, unless you are just now trying to come to buy in as cheap as possible, in which case that's not good news. But, news to our friends and investors, especially, anything under 7 is a steal, a bargain. 7 is, it just becomes more expensive for you to be able to get the same amount of circulation. But, I mean, it's going to go up. Bitcoin's going to go up unbelievably high. And I think that it's one of those things where the short-term trend is probably going to stabilize at a much higher average each time at this point. So that's a really big deal. So that's Ethereum Classic. Here's Ethereum. This is right where the Bitcoin drop was. It's slightly exaggerated. This is one of those examples where if you already knew that this would cause the correlation, the negative correlation, then yeah, you could have traded Bitcoin to Ethereum and vice versa. But in this case, yeah, it's, you never know exactly which one is going to be. It's either going to cause the stall out or the buy-in. Usually, depending on what the volume is doing, unfortunately, things will lower and lower. Like perfect timing. This was Bitcoin going up too fast, and then this is it trading up laterally. Unfortunately, Go did not come back up as high as it needed to. 666. So this is its only reflection, unfortunately, of the huge sell-off that just happened. It was about a $200 sell-off of Bitcoin, and it's buying back in. Still, it's headed on a downward trajectory. Bitcoin is. So it might be trading down for a while, but as we know, there's people that are more than happy to come in and boost it back up. So maybe starting to see an upward trend again in IOST. It's had a little bit of its own thing going on, but its volume is still dropping a little bit. So if it can start a new spike there, that would be really exciting. IOST, you'll want to see our coin spotlight that we just did on IOST. It's very interesting, and it's a real project and getting real funding. So you should follow that. Key was, in the 60s. So this is actually, if you have money that doesn't affect your circulation, you can always buy in on that. And I am not your financial advisor. I'm just here to give you some advice. So just the thoughts in my head. Do your own research. We're not liable for anything ever. Yeah. Nano, in cash, in cash really low. which means that once again, if you have the circulation, these guys are really good. Not really even a long-term investment. If you're trying to just move like 2 points and it's not affecting your circulation, then it's a very good opportunity. ONT was moving upwards in the high 32,000s, so a little bit disappointed that it's going to have to do that trek again, but we do have a few positions. None of them are big enough really to care. I do, so I overly care. But for our own positions, we need things to go up there. Older hodls, pre Archangel alts soft launch. REN, all these are doing the same thing. You can see that they're getting hit by the same impact, even if they weren't going in a negative pattern to what Bitcoin did, which I haven't seen many different to that. Some more dramatic than others. The issue is that when people report, they report the 8% up. 8% up. Okay, here we go again. Is 1293 higher or lower than 1347? Okay, so just reporting that it's gone up here, or, let's do this. This does not mean that it's up 8%. In fact, 8% up from here to here is actually the same as saying 4% up. And it actually needs to do 16 in order for it to measure 8. What's the reason? Well, no, we're going to go into that in a separate video. Food for thought, my friends. Steam did a little bit better than some of the others. Not that it didn't come down hard, but it was already struggling in the 940 range before. So the fact that it was already back into its thousands was a good thing. Well, how far do I have to go back to show? So this kind of throws things off a little bit. Yeah, you can see 7850. So it made it all the way up to 1400s. And now I would say that's slightly above the average that I would expect right now. So not too terribly bad. Not awful. 'Cause I'm TNT. Cryptocurrency. Yeah, very low volume. So yeah, I'm hoping that if Bitcoin is going to do the kind of things that it's been doing, that today gives a little bit of a volume slowdown on Bitcoin and it can hold around 5,000. We don't really need it at 51 or 52. The next big thing for it to do is obviously work towards 6,000, because then we're actually getting into full recovery from the Bitcoin Cash hard fork. And that would be tremendously amazing. I don't see those two teams allowing it to happen naturally. So shame on you guys. XRP, massive spike at the massive sell-off. People have been really thrown off because they're trading on Coinbase, most likely, some others, and they don't really get the full details and understand a lot of the things that, how could they understand beyond a lot of what's been going on. So you can look at the overall long-term, and this did exactly, I had somebody ask the question about it. It did identically down to the last drop exactly what I expected to do. Actually, out of 7,000, it was about 30 points short. But this was a mirroring. When people saw this, they were freaking out. I was like, that's where it was before. Okay. So it's still losing ground. When somebody reports this huge up in XRP, you can go and tell them that Archangel Alts told you, Gordon Freeman from Archangel Alts said that that's not as much. 7,000 is not as much as 7,600. And then they'll look at you and be like, what? Just stop numbers me. So I'm going to check real quick and see if anybody's got any questions. I think this covers pretty much everything. Just be very cautious out there. Don't want you guys getting stuck on the edge of a ledge, okay? So if I haven't missed anything, and I haven't. So thank you so much, guys. And we will be back around when we're back around. Make sure and join the webinar. Subscribe. Ring the bell. Comment. Thumbs up. Hello to all of you out in Periscope land. Good to see you as well. and Twitch and all that other stuff. So thank you so much for joining. And for now, Archangel Alts out.